Welcome back to another Blue Eluria production. My name's Dakota.
I'm Josh.
And today we are going to discuss everything about Avengers Endgame. So right now, I want to let you know, spoiler heaven. So go ahead, if you haven't seen the movie, do not watch this video. But hit us up with a like and become a subscriber anyways. Who cares? But if you have seen the movie, this is a video for you. Seriously. So go ahead and watch it. I'm going to give you a countdown right now.
If you're a superhero fan, Marvel fan, any fan, just watch the movie.
In 4, 3, 2, 1. I warned you. All right, so Batman dies. But in all seriousness, yeah, Josh, what did you think of Endgame?
All right, so real quick, me and Dakota both saw it last Tuesday.
Yep.
So literally a week from now.
Yep.
You know, we've had to make this reaction kind of late because just schedule-wise. But
we all work.
Yes, we know you guys have probably seen plenty already, but you haven't seen ours. So anyways, dude, how can you even start on this movie? Like,
this is how I think I might start. This is how I might start. I bawled my eyes out. I was crying on other people's shoulders around me. I went by myself, and literally, my whole damn row was a whole bunch of single people coming to see this movie, and we were all crying on each other's shoulders.
No, there was actually a lot of people there.
So,
dude, there was a lot of people there that...
If you didn't cry, then shame on you.
Any fan base.
But definitely, this was a huge tearjerker every which way. I mean, you were crying when good things were happening. You were crying when bad things were happening. You were crying when you were absolutely confused about something. So it was it was just incredible. I thought it was so well done. I mean, there's so many things you said.
Well, to also go with what you're saying, there was plenty of times also where I had the biggest smile on my face, dude. Like, I just couldn't even hold it in. Like, I was just so I had the crowd that they weren't really cheering, or they weren't. It was kind of like the quiet crowd, which is fine, I guess. But there was plenty of times where I just wanted to go like. But it was I didn't want to be the only guy doing that.
My crowd, my theater, we had a whole audience. We were just all going, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But definitely when I left the theater, I called Josh up and I was like, dude, I have a huge migraine right now. Like, my head is hurting so bad. And he said the same thing. I was like, damn, we should all
I thought, so I get migraines anyway, but this man,
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
No, but I'm just saying, but then, you brought up a good point when we talked afterwards, the emotion,
also
just mental exhaustion.
But this is something that, that they can also, comment below, too. It's if you guys had a migraine or some sort of headache after watching Endgame, just go ahead, comment below, tell us your experience.
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't just me. My cousin also, he was He was like, dude, when we walked outside, we were just not because we were glad to be gone, but it was just holy shit, how long were we in there?
I know. It was for 3 hours and 2 minutes. Now,
3-hour film.
I personally did not drink any water, did not eat any food before going into this movie.
Yeah, same. I timed it perfectly.
And I stayed the entire time.
Yo, comment your strategies on what you guys did not to use the bathroom.
Did you eat food during the movie? Did you drink? Were you dumb? Let us know.
Or did you completely screw up and were you peeing every hour?
Yeah. Well, and also that's another thing though too, is that my experience, it was great. But the fact that I was also in a row, there was another family too at the other end. Mm-hmm. Now, in our theater, there you have 2 exits, but for some reason, they're on the very far right end, and they had to come across everybody. Now, it's the parents were there, but they had maybe, 8 kids, and all these kids, I kid you not, they got up 10 times in the course of the film.
Oh, that's
They
terrible.
were passing in front of me so many times. They were going to the bathroom. They were grabbing snacks and food. And to listen to them say, and all they're saying is, oh, sorry.
I would have been like,
I'm getting ready to throw some punches. There's one lady next to me, she was like, son of a bitch. I just want to watch the movie because our movies, you were at the same theater. You had the reclining seats too, right?
Yeah.
So with those reclining seats, we got luxury, but we had to literally pull down our reclining seats every time that they had to pass in front of us.
Oh,
and I'm it's taking me out of the movie. But anyways,
that would have driven me nuts. We went on a weekday. They're supposed to be at school.
First of all, I went at 11:15 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Stay in class, kids.
11:15 a.m. on a Tuesday, and the theater was packed. Like, I literally looked up.
Yeah.
All the seats were taken.
Yep.
And I went by myself.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
But let's get back to,
other
than our experience.
Back to the movie. Yeah,
other than our experience, let's talk about how, what we
movie.
thought. Now, of course, that they brought up something really new in this movie, unlike other films, the whole time travel. The whole purpose of time travel within each timeline. So that they were discussing was that there's 3 different timelines in this film. The one that we're in, that everybody's been watching for the past 10 years, and then you have the other 2. Now, what we had to do is, well, I say we like I was a part of it, but we had to get the Infinity Stones from the other timelines because in our timeline, at the very beginning, Thanos destroys the stones.
Right.
You remember that. That happened at the very beginning. Now, at the very beginning, too, we see Thanos die. As soon as you saw him die, were you just, questioning yourself, who's the new villain? What's this movie going to be about?
I had no idea where they were going with it.
And literally another hour later, we just see a whole bunch of, stories of how they're progressing. But, still, another hour later, I had no idea what was going to happen until they brought up the time travel with Ant-Man. As soon as they brought Ant-Man in and because of a dumb mouse, if that mouse didn't touch that button, then he wouldn't have come back.
Yeah, what's it called? So I figured there would be time travel. But I didn't think when Thanos died, now looking back on it, you're just obviously, they're going to go back in time and fight Thanos again. But when Thanos died, I was literally the enemy is just gonna be I think themselves, the problems they encountered, just trying to reverse time.
Yeah,
they did.
Well, was it going to be another Civil War situation?
Yeah, something like that.
That would have been kind of cool.
And then as soon as for example, as soon as Captain America ran into Captain America, I was like, shit, this is gonna happen for everyone. This is gonna be insane.
But I love how the writing was so perfect for that too, because even when you saw that happen, when you saw Captain America versus Captain America, were you I was thinking if I was Captain America, I was going to say what the hell? What are you doing here? What's going on? But immediately he said, Loki, I know that's you. Because going back from that previous movie, he assumes it's that Captain America would assume it's Loki because of Loki's mischiefs in that film. So, that was pretty smart on the writer's part.
Yep.
But I want to talk a little more about their version of time travel. So that this was completely different from other movies. So, and they even referenced it in the movie. This is no Back to the Future type of film here where whatever you do in the past will affect your future. This was more whatever you do in the past is not going to affect your future, but you can affect that past, but when coming back to your timeline, nothing's going to change.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, do you want to talk about it?
No, it's not that I disagree with you. If I were to...
The writers, not me.
It was the... Dude, alright, so time travel's been done so many times, and I feel there's always this doesn't make sense, or this movie had to find some loophole to progress the story. Because when it comes to time travel, it's really complicated. You know what I mean? There's always some things that don't really make sense. So for me, I kind of tried not to think too much about if this could actually happen, or if this would actually work or whatever. Because so what you just said, I just said, is that what happened? I don't I think that was the one part in the film where I was a little confused on what when Banner was explaining it and shit. I was oh, okay, sure. I was just all right, they're going back in time, they're trying to fix what happened. You know what I mean? That's what they did. But if you understood it better, then by all means,
clearly I have. No.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
But no, that's sick. I didn't realize that it was we change the past and it doesn't affect your future.
Right. And
okay.
Everything just keeps moving on swift and easy. Even if you don't make it back, shit, you're not
but
there.
I still enjoyed the movie, guys. It's not I didn't know anything that was going on. I did.
Now, my favorite line probably of the entire film, besides I have many lines now. All the Easter eggs and everything.
This man started quoting lines as soon as we talked on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's heard these too, from like all the Iron Man ones, like I Love You 3000, the cheeseburger thing.
All right, what was the cheeseburger thing?
So that was, remember from the first Iron Man when he finally came back from war? So, like, remember when he was held captive and he had to make his own armor, right?
Right.
He finally comes back overseas and he's like, damn, I need a cheeseburger right now. Like,
true, I don't even remember that for some reason.
Yeah, so that's where it comes from. So, and that's like that kind of, right when that happened, even though after he died in the movie, after the funeral, I mean, I still teared up even when he brought up the cheesburger thing. I'm like, because these are all references that you really go back to. Yeah.
Damn.
But
I didn't even catch the cheeseburger thing.
Yeah, and I mean, was it you that I was talking to about the I Love You 3000, how like when he says, I love you a ton, his daughter is so smart because she knows how much a ton actually is, right? So then she goes ahead and adds on to it by saying I love you even more by saying 3,000. So I couldn't handle it.
Dude, at the end, the hologram, when he says that, I was just like, damn.
But the other line I gotta say, which was hilarious, I thought was, because Rocket Raccoon, I mean, such a great character in this film. I thought he was perfect to be one of the main characters, to see a lot of him and how everything, has changed in his life.
Yeah, I thought he was
But the fact that Black Widow, when Ant-Man comes back, talking about, like, if anything's, like, new, it's weird or stuff, Black Widow says, trust me, you haven't experienced weird. I get emails from a raccoon.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I thought that was pretty hysterical. Because I imagine like a little raccoon. Sending out emails.
That was funny.
But other than that, I want to talk about the scene the moment when I said this was my favorite film. It was when I saw Captain America by himself. This was like the climax point here. He was by himself, walking up to Thanos' entire army up on the hill, and he has half a shield left. He's completely, like, brutalized. He's injured to the yin-yang here. I mean, with just him by himself, before everybody shows up. That was probably, like, the most cinematic scene. Like, that's comparable to, the movie 300. Like, every scene in there is a poster. This was this movie's poster. And it was epic.
The sunset going on.
Yeah.
Was it sunset or sunrise? I don't even know.
It was a sunset because, it makes sense, though, because we're finally setting on this.
So I thought Captain America was a goner. As soon as I saw that scene, I was like, fuck, this is, like, his last stand.
That's what I thought, too. But immediately I was like, that would take away of all of Iron Man.
So you're talking about lines. We were just talking about lines real quick. So what happens as soon as that happens when Captain America is walking solo against the whole... What are they called? What's Thanos' army called? Forget.
Anyways, just a whole bunch of
the
assholes.
aliens. What's it called? And then all of a sudden he comes... he hears that little radio... stuff in his ear, and he just hears Sam's voice, like, on your left.
Oh, yeah, I remember you bringing that up.
On your left? Bro, come on. As soon as he said that, biggest smile, man. Like,
but it wasn't, but that was your tears of joy. That was the moment when you need to cry, and it was
definitely.
You see everybody coming out.
You just see the circles, and I was just like, oh my. Dude, I almost forgot about everyone else.
Even talking about it and getting goosebumps again. Yeah. It was like this was...
I completely, because as soon as Hulk did his snap, you were happy for 10 seconds because Thanos arrived right there. So I completely forgot about the other heroes that died. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know, it just didn't cross my mind. So when I heard Sam and I saw the circles, I was like, oh shit. We still got so much more heroes to go.
Yeah.
It was sick.
But watching everybody rejoice and join each other once again coming out of those portals, it was just such a incredible feeling. But then obviously with Chris Pratt's character, seeing what's her name? Gamora.
Yeah,
seeing Gamora. Yeah. And she wasn't her past self, which is hilarious. She was just from another timeline. She
had no idea who he was. That was funny. The reunions were great. Oh, Pepper and Iron Man, like, come on.
But that was the first time we saw her in a suit too, and I thought that was.
I'm so glad we got. I didn't think we were gonna get that for a second, Lady Iron Man. But
just even speak of which,
Lady
just
Iron,
like even this shot with you saw all the women from the Marvel universe from these past 10 years just join together and go in.
I knew the ladies would love it.
I'm like, oh god, it's just some more tears going. Like,
I loved it. It was badass.
You see it in the comics, you see them all team up together and stuff like that. But
it wasn't like Captain Marvel in the lead. It was just like, bro, like, damn.
But
they're about to
Captain Marvel,
some
like
ass.
She could just, I like her whole motto. Earth isn't the only world that needs saving. I mean, yeah, she's doing everything that she possibly can to save as much worlds as possible because there's evil everywhere.
Yeah,
right. Thanos isn't the only guy. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I knew they were gonna like save her for the end. Like, I'm
just the way that she just rips through the damn ship.
Yeah,
like that was just.
Well, that's why I think they made her leave for a little bit. Like, I'm not critiquing the writers at all. It was an amazing movie, but I think that's why they made her leave because if she was there in the beginning, like that battle could have gone way different.
My mentality when after Thanos said rain fire like down on while what's her name was like holding him up and. Elevated up in the air. Who's the girl? She has that twin brother that died.
Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch, yeah. So she was like, God, her power's insane. But I mean, the fact that she was able to hold him up and he couldn't take it anymore, that he had to literally tell to rain fire, like even though it was going to kill his army.
I've been waiting for that.
You see that
so
happen.
Much.
But you see, as soon as after it happens and on the cannons, you think that they're reloading. But they start turning up and then... I immediately thought that there was going to be another army coming.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking it was going to be something from Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, okay? But as it was just one person and it was Captain Marvel showing back up, I'm like, geez.
Great time. Just took out his whole air force. His whole air artillery just gone.
And sticking with Captain Marvel, when she obviously arrives, right? And Peter Parker, Tom Holland has the gauntlet and he's curled up in a little ball. Was that hilarious or what? When she says, "What's your name, buddy?" She's like, "It's Peter Parker." And she's like, "All right, you're gonna need to give me the gauntlet now." Yeah. She's like, "Okay."
Dude, it's so awesome just seeing all these heroes like together that we'd never thought we'd see. Dude, when did we ever think we were gonna see Spider-Man and Captain Marvel together, like interacting?
There was so many things like that's also the reason why that we probably had.
We could comment on every single fucking minute of that movie.
Look,
honestly.
Probably can't see this eye. Okay. It broke a blood vessel watching this film, alright? That's how intense this was. It was so damn intense.
He's not just a doucher, guys. Like, he doesn't just wear shades.
I'm not wearing glasses for nothing, no. But, I mean, I could do that for the rest of the films if you want. Comment below again if you want me to wear sunglasses.
Or else you'll have to see that.
Yeah, you want to see this ugliness? No. So, I'm going to put these back on.
It goes away, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. So... I'm not Cyclops from the X-Men. I'm not going to kill you by looking at you.
Were there any other new characters we saw? There was Captain Marvel.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper was good. I mean, you saw...
I mean, she's not new, but, her hero self is new.
I don't know. But the fact that they just brought all those characters back and was able to tell such a perfect story, I thought, that's why I also had a headache.
So fuck.
There's so much
guys, I know we jumped straight to the end, but it's just because like the ending was just so amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, we could talk. We're gonna talk about,
but ultimately
the whole movie. But
yeah. Anyways,
the ending was amazing.
Yeah, I know. The ending was amazing. Yeah, but if
all right, real quick,
it's gonna be
how we got to the ending, dude. The I thought the whole plot of them fighting past Thanos was brilliant.
Oh yeah,
so brilliant. I was like, how are they gonna fight Thanos again? And the way how he figured out about what happened in the first movie, it was amazing.
Yeah,
like I thought it was just written so well. Like it was such a little mistake of not realizing, Gamora's sister, what's her name again?
Nebula.
We're fucking up on the names, guys.
Don't worry, we're good. We're bouncing off. It's all
Nebula.
I thought I was going to ask you that. It's like, what'd you think of Nebula killing Nebula?
I guess that makes sense now if you can't... Because I was wondering, like, wait, wouldn't she die because she just killed her past self?
Because remember
but that makes sense
I told
now,
you that
what
the
you just
whole
said.
purpose of time travel.
Yeah. That makes
Whatever
sense.
you
Because I
do
was
in the
wondering,
past
I was like,
won't affect
all
your
right,
future.
that's a little mistake that they missed. Like, if she killed her past, like, she would die too.
But the only
makes
thing
sense.
that anybody could possibly question about their whole time travel theory that these writers came up with is probably the very, very end when we see Captain America come back old, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't come back on the time travel pad. Remember that?
Yeah.
He came back and he was at a park bench.
That means he just lived his life then, right?
So
yeah.
So what we're theorized is that he already knew that this moment, even though it was 5 seconds, for
he lived
the Hulk
like 80 years
and everything to wait for him to come back. Yeah, like he remembered this moment and he waited that long, even though it was 5 seconds. He waited that long to then go ahead and just walk to that bench, sit there and act like, that they knew that they were going to see him. But, right? When you think about it that way. But that honestly, so I guess that's the only thing that would make sense to me personally, is that's what was his ultimate decision. That's the only way to prove the time theory right in this film, is the fact that, they ended off the movie with his younger self dancing with his, wife. I don't know her name, but
Peggy.
The name's Peggy?
Peggy Carter. How
Peggy
dare
Carter.
you?
Cool. Well,
Bless
you
her
didn't
soul.
know Nebula. So Peggy Carter. They ended off with that. I thought that was really cool. But the only thing, that's what left people confused, is because that they ended off with a younger Captain America and Peggy Carter. Because then you're like, okay, Captain America's going back there, but now wouldn't there be two?
Wait, are you saying
he went back to that time scene? So
no, I think they just showed. I think they just the ending. I think they just showed what occurred when he went back in time.
But so what they didn't show all of it was that the only thing that you could assume for this to play right is that Captain America came back after Captain America in that second timeline died in the ice. But that same Captain America that was in the ice, remember, he comes back. So how is this going to happen? So now, even though Captain America went back to his second timeline with the new Captain America that's trapped in the ice, because Captain America from our timeline lived his entire life in the second timeline with the other one in the ice, wouldn't you think that other one in the ice would then come back to life at the end of his timeline when he's all old? So is maybe...
I didn't even think about the past America.
So now how weird would that be, is if now the old one comes back and the younger one comes back to Peggy Carter when she's completely old.
This is what I'm saying.
There's a whole bunch of things that can.
This is what I'm saying. When it comes to time travel, there's always going to be some strings that don't get
But they did
tied up.
so well. They did so well.
No,
if they would have ended off differently, it would have worked. But because that they had to add that in there because we knew that Captain America's time was up.
I still like Steve's ending though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it too. But it
totally,
if they could have done it differently, if they would have spent maybe 10 to 15 more minutes for us to mentally figure out what's going to happen, obviously, in
maybe
that
shows him go back in time, kill that past Captain America just so you could have Peggy.
This is other things too. Like Marvel does such a good job. They always leave a whole bunch of holes in other past films so that they get filled in future films.
Does.
But in this whole film, the only reason why it trips a lot of people up was because everything was being answered up until that moment. That's the only hole that has been left there. And not only now after watching, go check out our other video where we go ahead and have a reaction trailer to the recent Spider-Man film, Far From Home, coming out. But what we talked about in that trailer is that there's now, because of the snap, there's a multiverse, a hole in our dimension. So there's so many explanations and possibilities for future films. We don't know what's going to happen. Your mind's going to get headaches every minute.
Someone mentioned, was Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. are done with the MCU, but that doesn't mean they still can't come back and make some cameos here and there. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Since they have all these dimensions now, they could just a character could go into a different dimension and hey, there's Robert Downey Jr. Says a line or two, ha ha ha. And you know what I mean?
It's like not a ha ha, but more like, oh god, the guy he's back.
Well, I'm assuming they wouldn't bring him back just to add another sad moment. It was definitely his comedic.
But
But I like their farewells of the two guys.
I thought
let's
so
be honest,
too.
if there were any main stars of the whole MCU, it would be Captain America and Iron Man. If we were to narrow it down to just two, I understand there's a bunch of main characters, but
the only reason why it's a tearjerker for most. Like, if you're going in this is gonna be your first movie ever watching of Marvel.
No,
Don't do it.
That's a terrible idea.
Don't do it. Start off from the very beginning,
would
because
not
they did,
know
Marvel
what
did it so well. They legit went from Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy. They went to everyone's past. Like, we get to feel attached to the characters, and by feeling attached to the characters for 10 full years, like, imagine this.
10 full
we were
years.
like 10 or 12 or something.
We literally grew up with these films.
Yeah,
we grew up with these characters. We were 12, 13.
And yeah, look,
now we're 23.
Yeah, I know, right? So it's like
old guys talking about comic book movies. What you want to say?
That's the only reason. So
what you want to say?
Go ahead, watch those previous films. They could be on any site, especially the new Disney streaming app that's coming out, which is going to be what, $5.99, $6 a month. Like, come on, that's a no-brainer. You should do it.
I refuse to get.
Don't refuse. Do it.
Refuse.
They're gonna. But dude, did you hear about all the releases for the new shows that they're gonna have? One with Loki, one with Hawkeye.
I'm kidding. I'll probably.
This is insane.
I'm also a Star Wars fan, so I'll probably get it for that too.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's like 10 full years, and then you watch this, and watching all these characters. You know, the ones that leave, the ones that stay. You're gonna cry. Like, no matter what.
Apparently Dakota cried.
I cried so much. I was legit. I had a sweatshirt. I took off my sweatshirt and I put it in my mouth, and I was just biting on it because I didn't want people to hear me crying.
Little does he know, the people walking in and out of the aisles were just trying to get away.
You know, I'm happy that the theater was.
They didn't have to use the bathroom.
But yeah, right. I know. It was crazy. I mean, it was just. It's an experience of a lifetime. I mean, you're definitely gonna look back on this film and be like, this is history. Like, in the making. It won't be
It's never been done before.
Yeah,
biggest franchise ever.
Yeah.
Biggest franchise ever.
What? They're already now over $2 billion. It's only been 2 weeks in the box office. Yep. They're over $2 billion.
I'm about to reach $3 billion. Let's be honest. This is going to definitely. I'm claiming this is going to beat Avatar. It needs to dethrone Avatar because, what's his name? Who's directed? James Cameron. Yep.
He's so high and full of himself right now. He's so high and full of himself. Get him off. Dethrone his ass. Let's go. We need the Russo brothers on top. Russo brothers on top.
I got no beef with James Cameron. Speaking of Russo brothers, this is their last MCU film.
Well, okay, they say that. I
think it is.
I beg to differ.
No way.
The reason why they're burnt out.
What a great way to end off.
I know, but they're burnt out. They did so many.
They did 3 films.
Right, but if they go ahead and wait another 10 years to then, for another one of these films, they might not.
If I was them, I wouldn't come back.
No, but they might have. They won't be the directors, but they'll go ahead and have they'll voice their opinion. There'll be a voice to help out the process.
Maybe producers.
Because think about it, it wasn't just them directing it. You had God damn.
Wait, no,
director of Guardians of the Galaxy, James Wan.
4 films.
Yeah, was it James? Who the hell am I thinking? I'm not James Wan. Who's the guy of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Taki.
No, that was Thor. Taika
Waititi. Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn.
James Gunn. Well, I'm saying James Wan. But anyways, James Gunn and Taika Waititi, they all were on set of Endgame and Infinity War because, these are their characters. These are their babies. But the fact that the Russo brothers nailed it to a T, on how they act and everything.
You can just tell when they're directing an MCU film. At least for me. You can just tell.
They're just having the effort of 2 people, 2 directors. It was
so good. They started with Winter Soldier.
That was good.
Did Civil War.
Yep.
Amazing.
That was great.
Then they did Infinity War.
I know,
they just did it.
But basically, Infinity War...
Where have they struck out?
Yeah, but Infinity War and Endgame, I feel like, is just one giant movie.
Oh, so, definitely.
It is, but they had to break it up into...
So fucking good.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch a 6-hour
That's what I'm
I might try it.
That's what I'm saying, though, because, why would they come back if they just nailed it? You know what I mean? They just nailed it. This is the Infinity Saga. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
they're coming out with a Blu-ray package called the Infinity Saga. And all the movies we've had so far.
And I really appreciate that there was no
end credit
scenes. No end credit scenes. That makes a whole bunch of sense. Because
probably for people going to PE too.
Yeah, well, yeah. But this is the last film of the Infinity Saga, and that makes sense to end off with a film that has no post-credits like all the other MCU films have.
That last sound, did you stay for that
last sound? I stayed for that, and that was
a tearjerker.
That was magical.
That was a tearjerker. Dude, when I heard that, I was like, I was like, what is that? And then like the person next to me was like, that's Iron Man, like like Iron Man hammering his suit, and I was like,
Yeah, from the first film, bro.
I was like,
you gotta
bruh.
get it with the
I was
game,
like, bro,
man.
damn. If I was like, so for the people that didn't cry the whole movie, they just had to leave one more in there to try to pull a tear. I was just like, damn, like it really, dude. 2008, like,
Isn't that insane? Like,
I didn't even care about, I didn't even care for it. I was like, oh, cool, this superhero I've never really heard about because I didn't really know about Iron Man. And little did I know we were gonna like become like in love with all these characters.
Yeah.
Like,
this is definitely
insane. Before MCU, all we had was Batman, with numerous Batman films, numerous Superman films, and we had the original Spider-Man, and X-Men.
But the only thing is that this is the only franchise, or the MCU is the only people. Marvel is the only one that actually goes ahead for 10 years, has every film lead into the next. Where Warner Brothers, it's like, oh shit, we better catch up. And they don't have, none of their films lead to each other. They just have their own solo films, right?
Yeah.
But they'll have post credits at the end.
Yeah.
But now that they fired a lot of those characters away.
If you're talking about the new DC universe.
Yeah. Well,
we all know they.
But like the Batman trilogy.
We all know.
Batman trilogy with Christopher Nolan. That was brilliant. That was well done. But the problem is, though, that was just a trilogy for Batman, the Dark Knight himself. But
which I'm kind of glad it stayed away. Like,
yeah, I appreciate it too. But
I'm glad it stayed in its own story.
But here, Marvel's like, yeah, we have 3 Iron Man films. Shit, let's just keep leading it all into the next. But the way
they didn't make the 3 Iron Man films first.
Correct, and that was really smart. They could have done it, but it was really smart for them to go ahead and hit up the other movies. Yeah,
which was like, what's it called? I remember it was being said like why would they do individual movies for each Avengers member? Like, you know what I mean?
But now you're now you know why.
And now it's like, we want a Black Widow movie. You know what I mean? Which
I'm trying to think about that.
Which honestly now I would love to watch too. Like,
but if they bring her back, I mean, that's gonna put some.
No, I heard it would be like a movie of her past, like of what she did in Budapest with Hawkeye. What the hell did they do there?
They all talk about it.
What did they do?
But
that's what I heard. It would take place like in the 90s, kind of like another Captain Marvel.
But what would that do? Would that just be, a standalone movie? It would just be for fun.
Yeah, I guess it would just be like appeasing the Black Widow fans. I mean,
they didn't get a film.
No, and if Scarlett Johansson doesn't want to do it, I'm sure it won't happen, because that would be whack as hell if they made one without her. But who knows?
So yeah, I'll pretty much. I mean, this is very. It's like it's not stressful, but it's just so much going on.
They had a lot of laughs. I was surprised by how many funny moments they had after.
They did
for the last film, and for a film that happened after. Like, dude, Infinity War was so fucking stressful.
One last thing. I mean? One last thing. There's so much things to talk about, but the very beginning of this film, how much did that impact you when you saw Hawkeye's family just completely vanish? Because it brought you back to the hell of Infinity War.
I was just talking about funny moments. You just talk about Hawkeye's
it's okay.
It's okay. It's fine. We're gonna cut this part out.
No, we're not. We're keeping it in. Keeping it in. I want to talk about Hawkeye. I'm talking about Hawkeye.
Not editing out the Hawkeye part. I'm talking about the part I just said right now.
Who cares? We'll leave it. It was just like, the movie. You cry, you laugh, you cry, you laugh.
Oh, yeah, but Hawkeye's part was really sad.
Yeah, no, because before you go a whole year.
It was not a funny moment that I was just about to start talking
about. Well, you go a whole year after watching Infinity War, and the very ending, he does a snap and everybody disappears. And finally, the very first scene is going back to that moment. It just, to you mentally, you're like, oh, shit. Forgot about that. This is the hell that we're bringing back to. So it was really
honestly,
well.
I was kind of hoping they'd show more. No, they did show a lot with the how the cities look and everything, all abandoned and stuff. But I was kind of hoping they would show I mean, I know it's more it'd be sadder and stuff, but I was kind of hoping they'd show dude, a pilot driving a plane and all of a sudden he disappears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
or fucking like someone taking care of her kids and then she disappears and the kids are just there. But that's how fucking like terrible it was. You know what I mean? But I understand that'd probably be like too much.
Yeah, we don't want a 4-hour movie here. Okay.
I mean, they wouldn't spend a whole another hour showing it. But
yeah, so overall, this was just such an incredible film. I love I thought it was very ballsy, and they did a good job with the time travel theory. Still questions to need to be answered with Captain America. I need to get personal answers from people. Let me know what your whole time travel theory is in the comment section below, for real, because I can't wrap my head around Captain America's whole coming back and he's old and like what happened to the Captain America in the second timeline.
I like it.
Please,
I like it.
Interact with me. Comment below about it. I have nothing.
Let him have his love.
Yeah, right. Okay, fine. Yeah,
Damn
let him
it.
have his love.
Let him get his dance.
Fine.
Damn it.
That's fine. But I need questions answered like right now. I'm tired of
Old
listening.
Steve is
I'm tired
retired.
of watching Looper on YouTube because
on.
Looper is like fucking assholes.
I like how he gave it a Falcon though.
No, that was good.
Because that happens in the comics.
It does.
He takes
it
over
does.
after Captain America.
And that was awesome.
Because Captain America dies in the comics. Like, he actually dies.
Yeah.
He gets, like, killed. And I like that they gave him this ending. Because after losing Iron Man, I don't think I could take losing Cap.
Right, but this was going to be more about Iron Man than anything. And if Captain America's death was going to overpower Iron Man.
I think it was about both.
Yeah.
Think about it. They showed Cap.
It needed to be. I feel like it needed to be more about Iron Man just because that's where we started.
I mean, it's always been about Iron Man, though. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
it's always been about him, dude. He's literally been in the He was literally in the Spider-Man films. He's been the center of every Avengers film. And he killed Thanos. He's the one who defeated Thanos. Well, he didn't kill him, but he defeated Thanos.
It's just so epic. I am Iron Man.
Oh yeah, dude. We were talking about lines and we missed like two of the biggest lines.
It's okay.
I am Iron Man.
They're gonna watch the whole video.
Avengers assemble.
So much. We might have more videos to come about this.
He finally said
this is definitely going to be our first video for Avengers Endgame. We might have to start. We're gonna have to end it here, bro. We don't have much left.
About making another.
We've talked about it a lot. Like we were already pushing, the time limit here, but definitely, let us know in your comments your theories about time travel, your questions about other one-liners that happened in the film. It was just such a beautiful film regardless. If you just want to go ahead and comment for the hell of it, say hi. I'll say hi back. But just go ahead, subscribe, click the subscribe button below, hit that notification bell so you get more of our future videos. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep getting trailer reaction videos coming your way. Sure. So we definitely
check out our Spider-Man.
Yeah, 2 videos happening this week. This one, and then Spider-Man Far From Home, like you said. Yeah. So definitely stay tuned.
Check out our IG. We got a bunch of cool snippets of videos we're gonna post on here, and we also got a cool model photography that we got going on.
Yeah, we're boosting up our model photography. Go check us out on Instagram.
It out.
Instagram, a link is right on our banner on our page of YouTube. So do that, subscribe, and this was another Blue Eluria production.
I'm Josh.
I'm Dakota. Thanks for watching.